Dumb and Dumber is a 1994 comedy film that was written by the Farrelly brothers, but I guess only directed by Peter Farrelly for some reason. The plot of this movie is we meet Lloyd Christmas, played by Jim Carrey, and Lloyd is a limo driver who at the very beginning he drives this girl Mary to the airport, and he's instantly madly in love with her. And when he sees her leave her briefcase in the airport, he freaks out. He grabs it and he makes it his life mission to get it back to her. So him, and along with his friend Harry, played by Jeff Daniels, they drive across country to Aspen to make sure she gets her briefcase back. But what they don't know is that she left that briefcase on purpose because there's these guys who are holding a ransom on her. They want some money. So now they too are after Lloyd and Harry to get that money. Now what I think of Dumb and Dumber is I love this movie. I do. There's no other way for me to put it. This is one of those movies that as a kid I watched so many times. They showed it so often on TV. I remember I must have been 7, 8, 9 years old. I would record it on a VHS tape and just watch it over and over again. That's how much I love this film. I can't tell you how many times I did watch it. So you can only imagine how it feels for me so many years later, even every once in a while, to watch this on DVD. So much nostalgic feelings, for sure. Let's talk about Lloyd Christmas, because Jim Carrey easily steals the show. He is the thing to watch in this movie. He's hilarious. So many bits with him. How the movie starts, where he's the limo driver. He's pretending to be the guy in the back seat, and he's talking to the girl with the accent. I love that the movie starts like that. Not only when he drives Mary, and he's just not paying attention to the road, and all of the cars are crashing, and just the chaos as he's doing so, and how hard it is for him to part with her when she leaves. Again, hilarious. And later on, when they are on the road trip, and he has this daydreaming scene that just, it's one of the most memorable moments of the film, where he imagines what it would be like to date Mary and how madly in love she would be with him and how he wins over the family. And then when he takes her out to dinner and starts fighting people that flirt with her, the Kung Fu chef guy comes out and they have this big huge fight. He kicks his ass until Jim Carrey, with his own Kung Fu like moves, rips the guy's heart out and puts it in a doggy bag. Just classic. And another scene later on when he's trying to read the newspaper and he can't even say the word "the." Like, it's such a small, minute scene in the film, but every single time I watch this movie, it makes me laugh every time. But let's not forget Jeff Daniels as Harry Dunn, because sure, Jim Carrey is probably what everyone talks about in this film, but Harry has some pretty funny scenes too. Him having the sheepdog van, which is pretty classic. I mean, if I had the money, I just might get a car like that. Or the scene when he actually somehow gets a date from Mary, and he takes her out to the ski slopes, and for some reason he licks the pole that has ice on it, and he gets his tongue stuck to it, and her trying to pull his tongue off of that pole, yeah, that totally happens. The snowball fight that he has with her, where she just playfully throws the snowball at him, you know, and he gets a little annoyed and just hawks a snowball like right directly in her face. That gets me every single time. And some of the stuff that these two characters do, you could say it should make them not likable, but still it's funny. Like when they sell Petey, the dead parrot, to the blind kid. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Or at the diner where they encounter Seabass. Seabass is a pretty memorable character here because not only does he bitch them both out, but then they get a good prank on him back, making him pay for the stuff. And then later on, when Jim Carrey accidentally is in the stall, the same stall where apparently Seabass is supposed to have a good time with whoever's there, Yeah, not good. Or when they're driving and Jim Carrey has to pee, so he pees in their beer bottles. They get pulled over, of course, by a cop, and him not knowing what's in the bottles, he drinks it, and pretty gross. The movie really gets fun though when they accidentally open the briefcase and they see that it's just full of money, a whole shitload of money. And from that point on, they spend pretty much every last dime, and they buy all of the most outrageous and crazy stuff ever. And when Jim Carrey's just saying, "Here you go," tipping every single guy at the hotel. Lauren Holly as Mary Swanson, she's hot. She's a hot redhead who Jim Carrey married and divorced in real life. I don't blame him. But she has an important role as well. She constantly has to be the straight person. You're doing scenes with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels who are completely over the top and just so silly and goofy that I don't know how you just don't mess up every take by laughing. And she has to play it straight. She has to be the one to look at them and be sort of weirded out. And I think she pulls that off perfectly. One of the moments later on when they eventually realize that she has a husband, Jim Carrey daydreaming, because apparently he does that a lot, him daydreaming on taking out a gun and just shooting the guy dead. The couple of henchmen who are tracking them down, following them, I love how they think that these guys are the real deal and that they know what they're doing and that they're on to them, and they don't realize that these two are just freaking idiots. The one scene where one of the guys hitches a ride with them to eventually kill them, at that diner, they sneak these red peppers into his burger and accidentally kill him when he freaks out, and they try to feed him pills, but they were rat poison. With all of the really hilarious humor in this movie, there are some really dumb stuff too, I will admit. I'm sure not everybody finds it as hilarious as I do. Even the one shit scene with Harry's character, you could say, was too much, but I don't know. I don't have any complaints in this film. There's so many quotable lines that my friends and I still quote to this day. Even something as simple as when Jim Carrey is coming out of that 7-Eleven type place and he sees these two black guys outside and they have two Big Gulps drinks, and he just goes up to them and says, "Wow, Big Gulps, huh? Well, see you later." That I quote all the time. If it's not hard to tell, I love this film. It's one of, if not my favorite comedy of all time. It's one of those movies that I can still watch after all of these years and still have a ball laughing, as if it's my first time watching it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Dumb and Dumber? Do you like it as much as I do? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!